Sir, also the whole methodology that you have put for SLTS, can you explain us that how the whole methodology?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. Actually, as I mentioned, as you know, that smart learning and transformation solution has got three parts. There's a smart part, there's a learning part, and there's a transformation part. And there's a solution part, of course. Solution means solving some problems which the learners are facing right at this point of time. And I know what kind of problems we face also while I'm teaching at IIM Calcutta. So when I was designing this particular process called smart learning and transformation solution, and I've been doing that for the last 10 years, I've been keeping in mind everything together. So let's see what is that. I told you there are two components, mainly learning and transformation, which means I have to help them learn a new skill. I also must make sure that they transform themselves sufficiently in terms of their attitudes, motives, and habits, so that they can go and apply whatever they learn. Now, how do you do that with the same process? So the process is called the smart learning and transformation solution. Smart means is going to be on a digital platform, both during the faculty conducted session, and also there is a significant component which is about 70% outside the classroom teaching, which is going to be also a digital platform where they'll be practicing a lot of things. Now, coming to the point, the learning part of it, the faculty comes and teach, and it teaches a lot of things. There are case studies, there are hands-on exercises, and to find how much you have learned, there can be a quiz in between.
Right.
But the important part is what happens outside the class. Between two classes, we have a system that no two class will be, the gap between two classes will be more than at least 48 hours. I'll be more comfortable if you say 4 days, at least 4 days between two classes. Now, why do you think I need 4 days? The 4 days I need because I want them to apply what they learned in the previous class and also get ready for the next class.
Right.
And in between that 4 days, the faculty is also given a lots of assignment which have to be completed in groups and uploaded in the system.
Wow.
And many a times they have to also present on the video camera. We use our classrooms. When there is no faculty, they can come and present it.
Wow.
In other words, they do a lot of work outside the class. As a matter of fact, like Starbucks, they say that everything happens with a cup of coffee. I also say that everything happens outside the classroom.
Right.
So faculty comes and does 33% of the work, and the remaining 67% of the work, you got to do it themselves. And this part is highly regulated. You just can't take it easy because there's a time schedule, and people will be reminding you over telephone,
right.
Hey, your date is coming, what are you doing? There'll be a social networking platform to remind you what's happening, up-to-date state-of-the-art knowledge. If something has happened, after the last class has happened, we make sure that people get to know in the social networking platform. In other words, there's a continuous connection, 24/7 connection with the participants, even though the class has happened only twice a week. Now, once this happens, there's a 67% of the work is happening, for example, outside the class, 33% of the work inside the class, but the course is completely 100%, which means what you did in the classroom, because what you did outside the classroom is a part of the course. And the whole thing happens predominantly on a digital platform, hence the word smart, and the solution means I solve your problem. For example, you don't have to travel. You stay in your home, or you are driving a car, or you're in the airport, you're attending the classes. So I solve your problem. No traveling. There is no use of paper. You can use complete soft copies of everything, which you can access from all over the world on a 24/7 basis. I solve your problem in terms of you want to upload something. I give you a system which you can do it from both video and audio uploading from your home itself. Everything is possible, so easy. The whole system is idiot proof. In other words, anyone can use it without any prior training in the system. It is so technology intensive, maybe when it comes to students or the participant side, it is idiot proof, which means that anyone can use it without training.
At the last class that we took, you said that there were so many students coming from Japan.
Oh yeah, I must tell you that. That's a great example you said. You know, this system has been tried with 50 plus companies, and the last example with HCL, previously it's called Hindustan Computer. Just imagine for a moment, the class timing was 8 to 10 p.m. There's a prime time in our system. Why prime time? People go home, as per Indian time, they go home, they finish their office 6 o'clock, they take 2 hours to travel, 8 o'clock they come to the classroom. So 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock is the prime time for the Indian managers who are Indian participants. Now we have a program running, right now it's running, is called HCL Corporation, called Strategic Intervention Program. And we have people from West Coast, we have people from East Coast, we have people from England, we have people from Germany, people from Spain, of course some from India, and also in Japan. Now look at this, how I started the class. The first inauguration day, and I'm doing the inauguration. I said, hi, good morning America, good afternoon Europe, good evening India, and good morning Japan. It's sensational. Somebody wrote me back, chatted with a chat box, sir, it's 3:40 a.m. in the West Coast. I said 8 p.m. in India, and somebody said it's 1 o'clock in the morning in Japan. The point I'm trying to say is a fantastic platform wherein you can really interact with people all across the world with different cultures, different time zones, and different way of working. And yet at the same time, all the group exercises you do, we make sure that people are in different cities, they're different towns and different companies, so interact together. You also learn from participants. Please remember, in this system, faculty is only one source of learning. There are 5 other ways of learning. For example, you learn through the self-study. You learn from other participants. You learn from your company's own experience. You learn through inter-participant learning, I told you about it. And of course, lots of action learning projects you have to do. In other words, faculty become only one source of learning. There are 3 or 4 other sources through which you can learn. And there's a comprehensive learning whatsoever you can say.
Absolutely.